Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V-Series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited about these, but hopefully my expectations will be met or exceeded. Excuse me. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yam around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Cyclone 9 shirt. Look at it! Look at it. It's kind of hard to read. What the fuck is Cyclone 9? Cyclone 9 is a sort of like dark wave electronica industrial metal band slash musical project at this point that's been around since like the early 2000s. It is pretty much at this point entirely fueled by the main creative force behind it, a guy named Nero, who not only is the singer but also multi-instrumentalist, basically the conductor of the whole thing. I was actually fortunate enough I got to see them perform just a couple days ago at the time I'm doing this, and I had an absolute blast. Like, they were a phenomenal show. Was thoroughly entertained the entire time. I was disappointed, if I'm honest, but not in them. I was disappointed in the crowd. For one thing, we should have had a bigger crowd. But, it was the holidays, and it was getting colder and stuff. But that in and of itself. But when we got to the end of the show, myself and like 3 other people were the only ones going over there chanting, one more song. And it's like, I know it's getting late, folks. I know we're all getting older. But okay, you still throw out the chant, damn it. You do it. It's part of the whole thing. I was let down. As I've gotten older, and I've been going to shows for a long time now, it is one of those things where it's like you don't get the chants quite the same way that you used to. Because, again, a lot of times people just want to get home after a long show. But come on, folks. I believe in you. But anyway, I also got some videos from their performance as well as performance of the other bands. They are on my channel. I have an entire playlist for just my concert videos, just in case you're interested. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing? Why am I excited? Boom! Cheese curds from A&W! Woo! Ha ha ha! But not just any cheese curds, folks, no. Because that would be good enough already. Boom! Sriracha cheese curds. Look at them. Look at them. Ha 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 ha. So yes, A&W. Cheers to 100 years. I like that. It rhymes. If you are unfamiliar, of course, they have the root beer that they're famous for, as well as some pretty solid cream soda. But yeah, they actually have restaurant locations. That was kind of their original thing. Now they're more famous for the soda specifically. But I've reviewed a few things from A&W. They opened one up near me just last year. And yeah, man, every now and again I hit them up and find something to review. This is a limited time item, and I figured, what the fuck? So let's take a look. And I love cheese curds, man. So like I'm 100% down with this. And I love Sriracha, so can we get a thing? Ha 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 ha. Can we? Ha 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 ha. See how they taste. Okay. Takes a little bit for a Sriracha to kick in. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it takes a little bit for the Sriracha to kick in. Mostly what you get at the start is just straight up cheese curd, which is fine. Cheese curds are fucking delicious. And by the way, if you've never had cheese curds, get your life together. They are phenomenal. It's pretty much the best thing that Wisconsin's ever done. So, good on you, Wisconsin. The cheese curds themselves are really nice. I've had the cheese curds from A&W on at least a couple of occasions in the past. I don't go to the A&W all that often, but, I appreciate that they have cheese curds. If I'm comparing them against, like, the only other place I can think of off the top of my head that regularly has them as a menu item would be, like, Culver's. I'd say they're at least as good as Culver's. And that's saying a lot. Like, I really like Culver's cheese curds. But they're nice. They got a little bit of a crunch to them. The inside is properly ooey and gooey. I'm a fan. So I like A&W cheese curds. But now, as for the Sriracha aspect, it does take a little bit longer to kick in than I might like. I would like it to be immediate. But I can appreciate that little bit of a delay allows you to just appreciate the cheese curd as is. So there's something to be said for that. When it does finally kick in, it's subtle at first. You get just a little hint of heat, a little tanginess. And then, as you get to pretty much nearing the end point of the actual chewing experience, that's when it really starts to hit you. That's when you get more of the heat, more of that tangy sriracha flavor. And the heat is nothing extreme, not that that should be surprising. Sriracha as a sauce is not a particularly hot sauce. It's more flavor than it is heat. But it's super tasty, and there's a reason why fucking it's beloved. Do I think it works well with the cheese curds? Yes, I do. Yes, I very much do. Because you think about... Ooh, that's really good, actually. You think about it, cheese curds, they're basically like a stubbier version of like a mozzarella cheese stick, right? They're fundamentally very similar. You go over there, you take a mozzarella cheese stick, what do you dip it in? Marinara sauce. So there's already basically a precedent for, having a fried cheese food item with, a nice tangy hit. And I think it basically fulfills a similar role to, again, just dipping a cheese stick into marinara sauce. But these are actually really good. I think for me, these are really, really good. And it's one of the nice things about it. The more you eat of them, the more of that sriracha flavor you're getting. It kind of builds on top of itself. And I think they did a really good job with these, actually. If I'm pointing out any grievance, I could maybe have done with a little extra oomph with the sriracha, but by that same token, I don't feel like they did a bad job with it, because, again, giving it that a little bit of a delay, like, it's one of those things they could have gone way too punchy with it, and they could have ruined the cheese curds, and that's not what I want. So I'm kind of glad that they held back a little bit. I do think there's like a happy medium where maybe they could have gone a little bit more, but I think they did a really good job with these. These are very, very tasty, and it's a nice spin on, a very classic Midwest, treat. So I like them a lot. Now, all that said, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Yes and yes. As I said, these are a limited time item. I don't know for how long. But if you can get in and get these, I think they're really good. I think that, they wouldn't outright replace. Well, maybe. I was going to say they wouldn't outright replace cheese curds for me. But they might. Honestly. Maybe not like the really, really good cheese curds. Because, like I said, their cheese curds are good. But, like, if you get, like, cheese curds from, like, a proper restaurant where they're, like, freshly made. Those things are ridiculously good. But I will say maybe, especially if Culver's decide to start offering, so, I'm just saying, I could maybe see me grabbing those instead of the normal cheese curds, because I do really like them. If I'm recommending them, give them a shot. I think they're really tasty. Like I said, don't worry too much about the heat. They're not particularly hot, just a little heat at the back of your throat, but they're tasty, a little bit tangy, and I think they're a nice spin on something that a lot of us living in the Midwest are used to and enjoy in our own way. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular the rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Spend this rest of your folks. You go over there and have yourselves a truly sriracha-tastic rest of your life. Because, man, sriracha it's just wonderful, isn't it? It's one of those things that it's like, man, how did humanity exist for so long without sriracha? And the thing is, it's not even like my favorite hot sauce. Like, it's a very good hot sauce. But it's like, it's so good, and it works on so many things. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. And, hey, man, life can be, shitty and stressful and frustrating. When we have to deal with situations like that in our lives, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe if you happen to have an A&W around you, maybe if you're fortunate enough that one is still around you, my suggestion would be to go over there, go to one of their locations, and buy all of the Sriracha cheese curds. Just all of them. Just literally show up like Ron Swanson when he went over there and showed up at that diner at the end of that one episode where he went over there and he wanted all the steak and eggs that they had. Or bacon and eggs, I think it was. That's what I want you to do. I want you to show up at A&W's and be like, I want all of the Sriracha cheese curds that you have. Wait. I'm afraid that what you heard was that I want a lot of Sriracha cheese curds. It's not what I'm asking for. And then you'll do a whole little bit and it'll be a back and forth. And I don't think they'll sell them all to you, but I don't know that they won't. Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Maybe go over there and film yourself, become a viral sensation on TikTok. TikTok's kind of awful, isn't it? Like, TikTok basically took the place of Vine. And, I was kind of happy when Vine died. No offense to people who make content on it. It's, well, some people, yes, but man, I mean, YouTube gets its shit, and it deserves it, so. But fucking TikTok, man. Seems like every other week I hear about some new freaking idiot on TikTok who's like, I went over there and punched a guy in the back of the head, ha 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 ha, and then it's like, well, now you're going to jail. And that might not be TikTok's fault, that's humanity's fault. But anyway, old man, get off my lawn. Bye.